Solving multi-step equations and inequalities. The first equation they give us is 3 times d plus 2 equals 12. There's two ways of solving this. All right, the first way, the way you're probably going to want to do is to distribute the 3 out. That gives you 3d plus 6 equals 12. Then we solve it like we've been doing. We subtract 6. Gives me 3d equals 6. I divide by 3. D equals 2. If I plug 2 in for D, I would get 2 plus 2, which is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. D is 2. Alright, that's the first way. What I want you to do is rewrite the problem. We're going to work again. I'm going to show you a different way of doing it. So you're going to have an example of doing it both ways. You can pick after this which one you want to write down. Alright? Now, instead of distributing, I look at what's being done to D. The first thing I would do is add 2, and now it times it by 3, right? Now, we add and subtract first to move it over, but in this case, we're going to have to divide first. We usually add or subtract, then multiply or divide, but in this case, we're adding 2, then dividing, or we're adding 2, then timesing by 3. So the first thing we have to do is divide by 3. Make sure you're writing this down. That gives you d plus 2 equals 4. Now I solve it just like normal. I subtract 2 to both sides. My d is 2. Is that the same thing I just got? So there's two ways of doing it. Okay, distributing it out first or dividing. Alright? Could I have subtracted 2 first and then divided by 3? Would I have gotten 2 for D? No. Okay, so we look at what's being done to D and we go in reverse order of it. Alright, write this problem. This is 4 times x minus 3 is greater than 6. We treat it just like before. We treat it just like there's an equal sign there. I'm going to distribute. That gives me 4x minus 12 is greater than 6. I add 12 to both sides. Gives me 4x is greater than 18. I divide by 4. Okay, x is greater than, don't change my sign. I'm not dividing by a negative number, so I leave my sign same. 4 goes into 18 4 times. With 2 left over, gives me 4.5. Now I'm going to erase all this. Okay, if you want to go this way, then you don't have to write the next way down. Okay, but if you want to do it the other way, then write this down. I'm going to divide by 4 first. That leaves me that x minus 3 is greater than 3 halves. Okay, which I'm going to change 3 halves into 1 1/2. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. 1 1/2 plus 3 is 4 1/2. So x has to be greater than 4 1/2. If I pick the number greater than 4 1/2, let's say 5. 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. Is 8 greater than 6? Yes, so this is correct. Isn't this what I just got, doing it the other way? Yes. So, two ways of doing it. You can divide first or you can distribute. Write this problem down. Go ahead and solve it on your own.
Coach,
Let's check everyone's answer. So I'm going to divide by 4 first. Because I was timesing by 4, I divide by 4. That gives me b minus 3 is less than or equal to 18. Okay. 4 goes into 72 18 times. I add 3 to both sides. B is less than or equal to 21. There's my answer. If I had distributed, would I have got the same answer? Yes, I would have. Okay? If I distributed that, I would have. It would still B is less than or equal to 21. Alright, write this problem down. In this case, we have to distribute on both sides. Alright, and I'm going to do it in the same step, just so there's less writing for me to do. 4 times x is 4x plus 20. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 4 is 12. First thing I want to do is I want x is on the same side, so I'm going to subtract 4x to both sides. That leaves me with 20 equals 2x plus 12. Next thing I do is subtract 12. 8 equals 2x. I divide by 2. X equals 4.
That's the answer?
That is the answer. If I plugged in 4 for x, would they be equal on both sides? Yes, they would. There is no other way on this. You cannot divide on this. Okay? Well, dividing by 4, okay, that would get rid of 4, but then you'd have 3/4 times this. Right? Well, if you divide, I mean, it doesn't work that way. That you can't really do it that way. You'd have to distribute 3/4. I mean, it's just better to distribute both of them. Okay? You cannot divide by 4 and divide by 3. Can't do that. All right? We have to distribute here. That's why I taught you both ways. The other problems I would have divided just because it's easier, but I wanted you to see distributing as well because here you're going to have to. There's no choice. Let's do this problem. Go ahead and work it out. Go ahead and work this out on your own. So first thing I do is distribute the 4. Okay. That leaves me with 5a minus 8 is greater than or equal to 4a minus 3. Or, sorry, that was 12. It's 12. First thing I do is subtract 4a to both sides. Leaves me with a minus 8 is greater than or equal to negative 12. Everyone with me so far?
Wait. No.
Where did you go wrong?
I added 8.
So we add 8 to both sides.
No. Yes.
A is greater than or equal to negative 4. Is that what you got, Emery?
No, up there on the second step, I didn't use it as one problem, I did like 2. So I added 8 and I added 12.
Alright, write this problem down. This is a special solution, so it's going to have something what you're not used to. Alright, so what I first do is distribute the 3. Give me 3y minus 15 plus 25 equals 3y plus 10. I add my like terms here. So I get me 3y plus 10 equals 3y plus 10. I want to get the variables on the same side, so I subtract 3y to both sides. In doing so, cancels them both out, doesn't it? So all left is on this side is 10. All that's left on this side is 10. Is this a true statement? Does 10 equal 10? It doesn't? It does. 10 always equals 10, right? They are equal. If they are equal, then this is our answer. All real numbers. What this means is, no matter what we put in for y, it's always going to be true.
So you would put that on your homework?
Yes, that would be your answer, is all real numbers. As in the problem before, where it said like y equals a number, okay? Like those problems, or y is greater than this, that number, that y, that variable had to be a certain number, okay? With inequalities, it could be a group of numbers, but it had to be a certain number. In this case, it doesn't matter what you put in for y, they're going to remain true on both sides, okay? Y does not have a certain number, it's any number, okay? Let's work this problem. So we distribute the 2. Leaves me with negative 5s, that's supposed to be a little s, minus 14 equals 4s plus 6 minus 9s. Alright, is everybody at this point with me? Well, we add my like terms on the same side. Four s minus 9s is negative 5s plus 6. Does everybody see how I got that? I added, or in this case subtracted 4 from 9, like 4 minus 9, and it give me negative 5s. I add 5s because I want to move it over. Well, it cancels them both out. Well, let's look at what's left. Negative 14 equals positive 6. Is this a true statement?
No.
No. This is false. This cannot happen because negative 14 does not equal 6. So my answer here is no solution. Meaning there is not a number for s that makes this true. There is not a number we can plug in for s and make both sides equal. Does that make sense? Okay, the problem before, any number you plugged in for the variable came true. The problems before that, the variable was equal to only to one number. In this case, there's not a number you can plug in for that variable. Okay, so there's no solution. That is my answer. Any questions? And here's your assignment.